Hello, people. Welcome back to episode 2 of The Fool, a very unserious podcast by R.I. Roman, cute gamer boy. Oh my god, when I first had TikTok, like when I updated it from Musical.ly to TikTok, it was like a regular name, but then I first started cosplaying on that one and I wanted to have like some cute little name. And it was similar to cute gamer boy, but it was cute innocent ginger. But I forgot I forgot the second G, so it was cute innocent giner. But yeah, I think that account is still titled Cute Innocent Giner, and I literally like disappeared off that, and I was like, well, we need a full factory reset. God, James. But I'm here very quickly. I'm here very quickly again because, you know, a bitch is bored and I might as well be unemployed because it's really crazy how I can have two jobs right now and not even clock 12 hours a week combined with both. Am I the issue? Um, Definitely not, but it's okay. Because here's the tea. Here's the tea. I work at an Einstein's. I don't care I'm saying it because like the last one got like I mean mind you, it's been not even 24 hours and it has 40 views. So, big guy in the house. Big guy in the house. But I'm about to quit Einstein's anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I work at an Einstein's. For those who don't know, what an Einstein's, I don't even have the Paula's Choice toner mic. Oh my gosh. Okay, today the mic is Trixie Cosmetics Red Scare, the collab with Katya, but okay. I don't really care about telling y'all that I work at 9 cents. Okay, for those who don't know, it is a bagel place. They sell bagels, and I'm the head barista. You know, I bet my other baristas would not agree that I'm the head barista, but I kind of self given name. But bitch, I run that shit, so it's tea. Um, but I used to work there like a lot. But then I got my second job, which is like a medical job. I'm not gonna say what it is or for who or for what because, girl, I need this. Um, and so I had to tell Einstein's, oh, I can only work Tuesdays and Thursdays because this other place, I wanted to give them all my availability so that I can like work the most, but there's not like a promised schedule with that job. So they're like not scheduling me at all because it's really hard to get me a shift for reasons because depending on what the job is. Um, so I'm not working all these days, but I have the availability open for them. But then I had to tell Einstein's not to schedule me because I don't want to be double booked. So I work a cute Tuesday and Thursday shift at like, girl, like a 4 hour, like a 5 hour, like what is this? Like I used to be working like 9 hour shifts, 8 hour shifts, like open to close. And mind you, Einstein's opens at 6 a.m. and I leave there at 3 p.m. Like, yes, I work. And imagine me doing that during the school year too, because some of y'all can't. Some of y'all can't. Some of y'all can never. But I know how it is to work. Um, you ain't know the half. This shit get real. Okay, so I was literally deciding on whether or not today was gonna be about um, boys and the boy that sent me into a spiral, or if I wanted to save that. If this thing ever takes off, that'd be a TS episode. TS. But either that or just like my me being in the workforce because I literally have been working since like a month after I turned 16 and I was able to because my mom was like no one likes to work anymore. So she was like, you need a job. So my first ever job, I guess we're talking about work. You know what? We can do both. So my first ever job was at Raising Cane's. I was there for 2 years. And yeah, I started there when I was 16 in my junior year of high school. And oh my God, I literally hated that so much. Honestly, it wasn't too bad, but right when I started, they had me. For any of y'all knowing like who works at Cane's, like it is scary. And the first job too, like they're serious. Like they run it on like a military grade level. Like it's similar to like I feel like it'd be similar to like how like a Lululemon is ran or like a job that just like does not play. Like compared to Einstein's, girl, I'm on my phone in front of at work at Einstein's, I will fully laugh in people's faces because their eyes are bright blue. Is that mean? Like, I cannot take them seriously. Like, I'll be down, looking down at my phone, and then I look up and they're right there, and I'm like, oh my God, bitch. This is a lot to take in right now. But, you know what? Then my coworkers are always like, oh, what if someone said that about you? What if someone said that about you? And I'd be like, but they're not. Or, you know what? Like, delusional confidence is really what's gonna get everyone through it at the end of the day. Like my coworker said oh, I can't believe you think like that. It was like 2 weeks ago. I went to the gym for the first time at night because I usually go in the morning at like 9 or 10. Well, my goal, I like to wake up at 9 every day during the summer, and I'll go to the gym at like 10 or 11, and the vibes are always on point at the gym because you know, the natural light shining through the windows. It's like bright in there. It's like a brand new day. It's like clean. And like the people who are about the gym, or correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the people who I see every day in the gym at 10, at 11, are the people who are like about the gym. Like all the bitches are like, they got their like cute little gym outfits on. Like they're cute. And when I went to the gym at night the other day, it was literally like a freaking free for all. It was like the purge. Like it smelled like shit in there. It smelled terrible. It was dark. It was like they literally. If y'all have ever been to like a not scary farm, like a horror nights, it literally felt like when it turns like 6 p.m. and then they open the gates and all the monsters come out. And I was like, oh my God. I literally walked into the gym and I was like, this shit smells. And the second I walked out of the gym, because I went with my roommate, I was like, it smelled like shit in there, right? And he was like, yeah. I was like, never again. And I've never gone back past like 3 p.m. because that's when it gets scary. That is when it gets scary. Anyways, I was telling my coworker that at Einstein's, and she was like, oh my God, like, you're the reason why I don't go to the gym. Or just like, oh my God, like, I cannot, like, that is like why I'm afraid of people like you. And you know what? Bitch, eat or get eaten. That's fully not something. Like, nature versus no, natural selection, and that's tea. But Cane's. So I worked at Cane's, and they had me like on my first ever shifts. It was terrible. They had me doing Texas toast for 6 shifts in a row, and I literally wanted to quit. I like had those 6 shifts, and then I have a bunch of family that lives in Florida, so I did those 6 shifts. Then I like was gonna go to Florida for Christmas because I started in November, worked like 6 shifts. It was Christmas time, and I was like, all they have me doing is like toast, and it's so hot back there, and they're screaming, and you know how it is like when you first get to a job and all the workers are like super tight, and then you're just like, they're stupid. And it was literally like so scary. Like I hated that so much. But then they like had me on the upfront, they had me on the register, they had me in the drive-through. I was literally the king of the drive-through. Like they would put me on the window knowing that those times were gonna be low. And it's really crazy because like I don't know if it's a drive-through thing, but at Cane's, like the times on the drive-through were like everything. Like they would be mad at you if the times were above like 4 minutes. And it's really funny because like sometimes at Einstein's, like our times are like 12 minutes like per transaction. Okay, and for people who don't know what I'm talking about, times like it's like times per order. So like the second like an order gets placed, it pops up on the screen and like a timer starts going. And you're supposed to like hit the button, like bump it and when you're done with it. So just like from start to finish, like how fast do they get their food? At Einstein's, I'm telling you, it's terrible. Like we have people be like so mad. I could like it's really crazy, but it's also so frustrating because I don't understand like during the school year, Einstein's gets like really busy and people will come in like 10 minutes before their class starts and they fully see the big line. They see all like 50 people waiting for their food. And they're like, how long is it going to be? Because I have my class in 10 minutes. And they're like, I didn't know it was going to take this long. Like, get the fuck out of my face. Like, gosh. But yeah. And then I really don't even have too much to say about Canes. I was so young. But they were so strict. Like, even in the back. Like, one time I was washing the dishes and I had my AirPod in. And they're like, you need to take your AirPod out. Because someone can see through the little sliver in the wall that from the front that you have your AirPod in. Like, the most stupid stuff. But, you know what? It got the bills paid. But at that point, it was really just like because my mom wanted me to have a good work ethic. And you know what? It was fine because I literally would get like a $200, $300 paycheck and I would literally spend it all on the same night, like in one ASOS transaction. And I'm telling you, it was like the ugliest clothes ever. Like this era was like, I bought like leather pants. And okay, and it's just like, it was just like so gay. Because this is like right also when I was like super getting into Drag Race. So like my info or my inspo was like their workroom outfits and I was like, oh my god, like they're all like so like them and like they all look so good. Or that's not tea, but I meant like just like some of them were like looking right but like super gay. So I was like out there in like leather pants, like all these like colorful ass shirts. Like, bitch, tell me why I bought a big ass cheetah print puffer jacket, and I think I wore it like twice. And but it, you know what? I was doing me, and I was having a good time. And those outfits were so gay. And like speaking of like super gay outfits in middle school, like the first time, like people always were like, "Oh, you're gay. Oh, you're gay." But like in middle school, I was like, I'm gonna wear overalls. Like I feel like they're gonna like I really feel this for me. So I got like a pair of like black overalls and I went to like Zoomies and my abuelo like bought me like a shirt from Zoomies and I was like, oh man, I'm so cool. I'm gonna put this under like my overalls. And it was like a red, orange, blue, green. It was literally like I didn't even realize that it was like a rainbow shirt. But it wasn't like rainbow colors, like it was like different tones, just like a skater like striped shirt like that. And I had like PE first period. And I remember walking into the locker room and all the boys were like, is he gay? Is he gay? And I'm like, y'all only caught on now because I'm like wearing like a striped shirt and overalls. But I didn't even come out until like freshman year. And I remember coming back from like winter break. And I think after I came back from winter break, I was like pretty comfortable telling people. And like the way I told people, because I don't know if y'all remember this, but I think this was right when Trump got elected in, oh wait, no, Joe Biden. This one, Joe Biden got elected in 2020. Because I remember saying like, oh, they're going to send me to the boot camp. Because do y'all remember this when they were saying that they're going to send the gay people to a boot camp? Or it was like some kind of meme on like early TikTok. And I was like telling my girl bestie, and I was like, girl, I was like afraid that they're going to send me to the boot camp. And she looked at me and she's like, and I was like so stupid. Like, but yeah, Canes, terrible. And one time they had me like go to a different location because I was like a certified trainer. They had me go to a different location to like train people, and oh my god, it was like terrible because our Canes was ran like insane. So I was like brainwashed. Like, it was almost like I had Stockholm syndrome with my managers. That's kind of like probably not okay to say, but it's really how I felt because when I went to this other Canes and it was terrible. Like, literally, no one was like doing stuff correctly, and everyone was like, it was a bunch of like high schoolers, like, but super young, like immature high schoolers. And I was like, this is like chaos. I was like, why are you wearing your apron in the front of the house? Y'all are allowed to do that? Like, oh my God. They sent me there to whoop them into shape. And I was like, I worked like 4 shifts there. And never again. I was like, and then my manager was like, how was it? And I was like, it was terrible. Why would you send me there? And he was like, I know it is. And I was like, but right when I was like covering or training at that location, that's when I was really getting into Ungodly Hour by Chloe and Halle. I don't know if it's in the shot, but there's a photo of them on this like pegboard, or I don't even know what kind of board it's called. Just like, but there's a Chloe Halle Ungodly Hour photo. And I'm just gonna say it, I will always stand with Halle. Well, first of all, they need to get back in the studio, because what the fuck are they doing? Because I know that the reason why Chloe probably branched out for her solo career is probably because her sister was fucking busy being Ariel. Oh, so good. I love that movie. I thought like Prince Eric was like so cute. But yeah, I will always stand with Halle. Like, obviously, like, I've never liked DDG. And I'm telling you that literally me and my roommate, we, right when everyone was being suspicious, oh, is Halle pregnant? Is Halle pregnant? Like, we were like, she better get that abort. Like, I can't have this for you right now. And now here we are, a year and a half later, and I never liked him. And that girl was going through it. And now he's out here at the streamer university at some pool party. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Saying you want to be a dad? Like, when he took Halo on that stream, and he had him in like a bag, like in like a backpack. Like, it was cute. He looked cute in there. But that's not the point. The point is, why you bring your freaking not newborn, but like your really young baby into these streams with all these annoying ass people, and all their viewers are literally like the devils. I'm telling you that the kids can't read. The kids can't formulate sentences. They can't understand words. It's just really disgusting what's happening to the youth, and that everything is like, I remember seeing a meme literally like 2 days ago where it was like, oh, reports say that Aiden Ross is going to like pay people to like run something in like a GTA game, and he's gonna pay them like livable wages. And someone like screenshot it and was like, later college, like with dead serious. Like, oh my God, I do think that everyone should go to college. It's just like, or is that a hot take? I feel like in this current day and age, that is like a hot take. If you know from a very young age that you want to be a plumber, go ahead, do trade school. We need the plumbers, electricians, but I just feel like it's so good to struggle. Am I out of touch? This feels a bit out of touch, so I'm going to pivot. Yeah, I need Chloe and Halle back together. But I actually really did enjoy Chloe's first album with Body Do. One of my favorite songs ever. Do you ever wonder, like, who else is fucking you, man? But then the second one came out, and that came out last year during my freshman year. And I remember, like, the singles coming out, and I, like, listened to one, and I was like, girl. I love saying that because then I sound like the RuPaul, like when it cuts for Drag Race, girl. Ah. But I actually really did fuck with that first album of Chloe's. I love Drag Race so much. I don't watch TV like that at all. The only show that I consistently tune into is Drag Race, and it's almost like all of the media that I consume. Because it'll be like, oh, like the first look comes out on Thursday, or it used to come out on Wednesday, and then the episode comes out on Friday, and then the pit stops on Saturday, and then fashion photo review, and then sibling rivalry, and then like race chaser. It's just like the only stuff I consume is Drag Race, and it's because it's genuinely the best show to ever be created. Like for what it stands for the fashion, for the lip syncs. I was gonna say the music, and I was like, not the music the queens bring. But you know what? Let me not even shade them, because me and my roommate sat better, got into drag a week ago, and we were playing in our drag queen roommates' wigs, and honey, we looked the fool. We were fucking bricks. Like, just I feel like people think that just because I like was able to cosplay and like I like used makeup and like paint on myself to get into those, that I know how to do makeup. That is the furthest thing from the truth. I was brick down. I was bricky. It's bricky. No, I literally looked like the fool. It was crazy. And then I was taking like all these videos like with the filter on me. And like the filter was only on me, and my roommate looked like the brick down. I didn't feel bad. It was so funny. And then I posted like a few photos of me like in drag with the filters on, and bitch, literally only like 3 people clocked the filter. It was so funny. Like everyone was like, "Oh my god, like jaw on the floor, like sis, you really like." I didn't even realize it was you. Like, yes, girl, I literally have the Brat stall filter from Snapchat on right now. But it's chill. And like Snapchat, I like really I used Snapchat when I was younger, and then there was a long period where I was like, Snapchat is for predators, Snapchat is for weird bitches, Snapchat's for immature people. And now I'm on Snapchat because my boyfriend, when I first met him, he was like, I guess he was really into Snapchat. He like only communicated through Snapchat, and that was like the only big red flag, or not even big, just with my boyfriend. But I don't know. I guess he just likes the interface. So, but the thing about me is that I love a good filter. Like, oh, so I'm on board, and I got all my friends to get it too. We're literally at like almost, I think we got a year on our streaks, because I used to do streaks in high school. I had like to the point where, because I was in California school, because I'm originally from California, from Long Beach, and I like had like a streak with someone from like my freshman year of high school in Long Beach, and then in the middle of my sophomore year, I moved to Texas, and like late into my junior year, like I haven't talked to this person in like 2 years, and we were keeping that streak alive. And when we hit like 900, I texted her and I was like, "Happy 900, girl." The first time I ever talked to her in 2 years, like it was just so like unserious. And that, but you know what? Streaks, streaks are fun. I don't care. I like taking a little fun selfie. Um, but yeah, so Canes, just yeah, and then I quit, and then I got my job at Einstein's, and oh my god, I literally started working at Einstein's the first week of classes, um, during my freshman year. So, and I've been there ever since, and oh my god, it has been. I mean, I love all my coworkers so much. Like, I really like a lot of the only social interaction I'll get oftentimes is like with my coworkers, because like we all go through the struggle. Because I feel like at my school, the thing is that like everyone is rich. Like, I don't know if I'm like bitter and like mad, but I feel like everyone is just like taken care of. Like, I feel like, but this is definitely like emphasis on the I feel, because I know that's like not true, but it's really hard not to feel that way when you see like people around you being like, oh yeah, like I went out this night, and then went out this night, and it's like, bitch, I can't go out because I literally have work. I need to be up for work at 5:30 a.m. And it's like everyone's just like, oh yeah, like my dad pays for my rent, and like I just like do whatever, and I like, it's so hard not to get jealous. It's so hard not to get jealous and not to like be mad and be bitter about it that I don't like live like super on campus, because like the rent where I live is like half the price of like rent like right on campus or near campus. And it's really hard to like swallow that pill sometimes, because it's like, okay, like you will probably never experience like that like high up. And I know you guys are probably seeing like all these dolls and you're like, bitch, you are like literally such a hypocrite. And let me just say something first of all, my boyfriend bought like all of these. So get you a man, get you a man that gets you a caramel latte. Um, no, but he bought all these. But I'm saying that I pay my own rent. And sometimes it hurts. Um, but yeah. So Canes. No, Einstein's. But at the Einstein's, it's like literally so scary because it's on the main street right across from my school. And I'm telling y'all, it is homeless central. I swear, every day someone comes in, threatens to fight someone, threatens to fight us. They call my manager the N word. It is literally insane. One time my coworker, this woman came in, she was like, can I use the bathroom code? I mean, can I use the bathroom? And our bathroom like has a code. And oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I smacked the mic. And it's really hard for me to tell people no, or like how am I gonna tell a homeless person, no, the bathrooms are closed. No, go. Like, it's just like, girl, like, okay, here's the bathroom code, and then like 10 minutes later, um, my coworker's like, I'm gonna go use the restroom, and I'm like, okay, girl. And then I hear her like beep 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 into the bathroom, and then she opens it and she's like, she's like, Roman, and I'm like, what? And I'm telling y'all, there was shit everywhere. I'm telling you, it was like they had a shit bazooka and they shot it into the fucking toilet bowl, and it like just like shit up the wall, shit on the toilets, shit on the floor. And it was my manager's birthday. We made him clean it. Well, we didn't make it. I wasn't gonna clean it. But he was like, who gave her the code? And I was like, I don't know. But then my coworker was like, oh yeah, I thought you saw the shit on her pants. And I was like, so if you saw this shit on her pants as she was walking to the bathroom, like, I'm talking like shit on her ankle. Like, I didn't see that. Like, and a lot of the times you have to like tell these people no because we don't want shit up the wall. But I don't want to peg everyone as someone who's going to shit up the wall. Because then it's like the shit up the wall clock ET allegations. But no, it's really sad. And God bless. But yeah, and then, oh my God, we already got into how I worked at Nordstrom Rack. I actually think that that was my least favorite job ever because it was just so boring. Because I personally believe that, like, whatever industry, like, your first job is like the stuff you're going to be most used to. Or I don't know if just, like, Canes and Einsteins in the food industry is just, like, easier than doing, like, retail. Because it's not. It's just, like, way more, like, entertaining and, like, yeah, it's just way more entertaining. I feel like it goes faster. And also the thing is that when I worked at Canes and when I worked at Einstein's, the thing is that my coworkers are all like a similar age demographic to me. While at Nordstrom Rack, it was all over the place. It was like super old women, like, and then yeah, it was just like super old women. So I like really couldn't even get down with them like that. So it was terrible. They had me selling credit cards to these old women for like $5. It's like, oh, you did so good. Here's $5 for opening a credit card, and they would be on your ass. Excuse me, they'd be on your ass for not opening a credit card, and it's like, girl, like I'm not trying to sign these old motherfuckers up to like bomb their credit, like, and I don't even know how a credit card works because I don't even have one, which I literally need to get on because everyone else is getting a credit card all of a sudden. But okay, 30 minutes in, I think we're gonna talk about the devil. So basically, it was my freshman year. Let me take a sip of water before, because I will, once I get started, it's not gonna stop, sister. But yeah. Finishing touch of the smoothie. Very good. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure not to say his name. We're just gonna refer to him as the devil. So, yeah. Okay. So basically, but before I get into that story, we need to introduce another character, which is also known. Um, the devil, and the new character has the same name as the devil. So it's a bit hard to navigate explaining this. So we're gonna say the devil is the devil, and the other one is the Joker. When the devil attacks, he attacks. And then we'll just serve everyone brisket and menudo, right? Okay, besides the point. So we have the devil, which is the one that was terrible, and then the Joker. Okay, so basically, I was like a new boy on the town, and I was on the apps, not the scary one, like Hinge, and I like matched with this guy. Like everyone on Hinge was like chop shit, and like I'm not even gonna say that because I heard that they like put you in brackets, like based on who they think you are, and I was like, girl, I know I'm not chop shit, personally. I mean, my lips are so dry. There's nothing around me. Okay, that's tea. But basically, I was on Hinge and matched with this guy, and I was like, okay, he's decent looking. So then, girl, if my mother is listening, she's not listening. If like my sister is listening, like literally click off. So we're like, oh, like let's hang out and like watch Drag Race. So I like go over to his apartment, and mind you, it's already like 8 or 9 p.m. And I was like, yeah, but I actually have work in the morning. So I like brought my bag with like my change of clothes, and I was like, he was like, yeah, like you need to spend the night. Like, mind you, this is the first time I'm meeting him. Like, literally, like I wanted to be on that whore vibe so much, but I just could not. So I like go over with like my work clothes, and then we're like talking, and I meet him. I say hi. I was so nervous. I'm literally telling you, I like got there. I like sat in the devil's like apartment lobby while he like came down to come get me. And I was like, and he was like, are you shaking? And I was like, no. Like right when he saw me, he was like, are you shaking? And I was like, no, I'm not. The fuck. So then we go up and we're like watching Drag Race like in his bed, and we're just like laying down watching it. And then he's like, I'm like kind of tired. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, we just go to bed. So then we're like up in the bed, like laying down, like I'm like little spoon, and he's like big spooning it. And then we're just like talking, and literally I am like, this is the first time a boy's ever touched me, so I am like sat, girl. And then we're like cuddling. I keep on like scooching back, like trying to like rub up on him, like because I'm like little spoon. To one point where I literally think about this all the time, and it's so funny. Where he's like, I'm gonna fall off the bed because I kept like scooching back on it. And that was so embarrassing. And then we're just like talking and talking and talking. And then it gets to the point to where like I say like I haven't had like my first kiss. Oh wait, no. And then he was randomly like before that, he was like, oh yeah, I saw you were following this one boy on Instagram. Like, how do you know him? And I'm like, oh, I just like was at like a organization like intro meeting, and I like met him, and he's like, oh, okay, and because apparently he had like some bad experience with that boy, and he like made him do like stuff, or I don't know, but then I like, oh yeah, like I haven't had my first kiss, or I was just like telling him like that this is like so unlike me, I like don't even know what I'm doing right now, and I'm like I haven't had my first kiss, and he's like, what? And he was like, well, do you want to? And I was like, sure. So then we do, and then he's like rubbing up on me, but nothing like crazy, like literally just like uh like a good little dry hump, which is like it was TBH for like the first time. Oh my god, I really hope I've been fidgeting with this the whole time. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Yeah, you guys can hear that. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, but then that happens, we kiss, and we rub up like a little bit, just like dry hump, and then that was it. And then I like leave. Um, and then I had work, and then he would text me and be like, "Oh, like what are you doing? Like what are you doing for your birthday? Because my birthday was coming up." And oh yeah, because we were gonna go out to like a party. It was like the month of October. I'm born in October, so there was like the first like Halloween party of the month, and we were like gonna meet up, and it was before my birthday, and oh my god, I literally got like I was like at the pregame, literally just like my roommate and our other friend Vivian, and I'm doxing her because she wants to be she wants to be a filmmaker. They're all RTF, radio, television, and film girlies. You know what? If I can give them the 40 views of exposure, I'm gonna do that. But we were pre-gaming and we were just drinking. Me and Vivian are the types of girls to be like, "Hey, one more!" So we just that cycle kept on repeating and repeating and repeating. And I never made out the pregame. And he was like spamming my phone, being like, "Where are you? Where are you? Oh, I bet you're like making out with someone else right now." And then I'm like drunk as fuck, like throwing up in front of a toilet. And then I pick up and I'm like, "Hello?" And he's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, and then he finds out I'm like drunk as hell. And it's actually like on video. Like one of them like took a video of me like on the phone, like, um, that should have been the first red flag. Like that craziness, right off the bat, like after like one kiss and like one meeting like that. And then it was my birthday the next morning when I woke up, and I had brunch with my mom. I got a tattoo, and then I was like, I guess I'm just gonna study, like depressed as hell on my like first birthday, like alone at college. And then he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, literally just studying. And he's like, "Okay, like how about like I take you to In and Out and like I'll pay for your burger." And so first we go and we buy like a Sunny Angel like downtown, and then we go to In and Out and he buys my burger. And then I'm like driving us because he didn't have a car. If I'm telling y'all, never talk to a guy if they don't have a car or a job. They can have one or the other. If they have both, that's amazing. But if they don't have either, it's a job. Um, so I was driving us, and I was like, okay, like I need to stop and get gas after. I need this after. And I was like, so what are you doing for the rest of the day? And he's like, I was probably just gonna go back to my apartment and like watch TV and maybe like take an edible. And I was like, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm not, I got nothing going on. Little old me on my birthday. And so, as one does, I invite myself over. And and I go over and I'm like, I don't have any PJs. And he like gives me like the tiniest shorts. And I'm like, boy, what you trying to get into? Um, and yeah, and then we literally just like, I'm telling you, all we did is like watch TV and then like go to bed. Like literally nothing happened besides like a little cuddle or like that. And then And then this is like when it starts to get juicy because it's like his birthday now because his birthday was like a week and a half after mine. And it was again another Halloween party because there's Halloween parties all throughout the month of October. And me and my roommate are gonna go, and we get there, and he's like super drunk and like bouncing off the walls, like talking to like every single person, and I'm like, hello, like didn't you literally like tell me that I should go to this party and you'll like see me there? And I'm like, okay, so I'm here, and I literally like said hi to like try to be like, hi, devil, like, hey, devil, how are you? Um, and then like he just kept on like ignoring me to the point where I was like, why is he ignoring me? Like I literally came here to see you on your birthday. And I'm like telling this all to my roommate, and he's like, girl, I don't know. And I was like, okay, well, if he doesn't like do anything, like if he doesn't come talk to me, like I'm literally like, we should just leave and like do something else. And then I'm like, you know what? You're like bouncing off the walls. Okay. And this is where I start to get la toxica. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not proud of a lot of the things that happened in this whole whirlwind of tea. So I'm like, you know what? If you can bounce around and talk to all these guys and ignore me, I can do the same thing. So then, okay, and this is the introduction of a new character. So if we have Devil, Jester, and let's say Troye Sivan. Because I literally like there was like this little twink who I'm telling you is like on like Troye Sivan level of like blonde twink, like just like gorgeous little blonde twink. And I like that's like not my tea at all. But I think I knew that it was his tea because she's talking to me. So I like am talking to this little like Troye Sivan, and I'm like flirting hella. Like I really could not give a fuck about who this is, but I'm just like flirting and just like being like closer than I usually should be, or just like smiling and like um whatever that is. And and then that happens, and I walk away from that. And the first time he came up to me in the whole night, he came up and he was like, what did Troye Sivan say to you? But with Troye Sivan's name. And I was like, oh, like, how do you know Troye Sivan? And he's like, what did Troye Sivan say to you? What did he tell you? And I'm like, oh my God, like, what do you mean? And I'm like, literally nothing. Like, like, why? I was like, why are you ignoring me? And he's like, what? Like, I'm not ignoring you. And I'm like, you literally like have been talking to everyone else but me. And then he was like, oh, like, why are you being such like a cunt right now? And I was like, and then he like was holding like my hips. He's like, why are you being such like a cunt right now? And I'm like, and I literally like, I push him. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I walk off. And I'm like, Sapiter, my roommate, let's go. And then I'm literally walking down the back alley like Carrie Bradshaw went in that one Versace dress, and Everything's Embarrassing is playing, and it's like doo cha doo doo cha doo cha doo doo ch. Everything and nothing always haunts. And I'm like walking, I'm like to be grown in the city, like ugh, I'm just getting done wrong. Bitch, I loved it. Like, I'm sorry, like, I'm so dramatic and so stupid, but I was like, how could he do this to me? And then the next day, I think I like worked like always. And I was like, I got some kava, and after work, I went to go study in a building because, as I said, bitch, I take some hard classes. I was studying in a building, and I was like in my feelings all sad. And then he like texts me out of nowhere, and he's like, I don't think this is gonna work out. Like, you've been like super sweet, and like like, the time that I've known you, like, I've had a really good time getting to know you, but I just don't think I'm ready for anything serious, and you seem like you are kind of looking for something serious. And bitch, I'm devastated. Bitch, I'm like, it's over. Like, they slayed me. He slayed me. Like, and I was literally like crying, like in the chemistry building, like in the bathroom, in like the single bathroom use. And I'm like, ugh. And bitch, I looked so chopped there. The thing about me is when I cry, I get so red, and then I get so stuffy. Like, I'm already red right now. It's just worse. So I looked a fucking chop mess. I was like, the world is over. Oh, and mind you, on the night of my birthday, I was like, period. I like posted like a photo with my mom, and I was like, matching tattoos for my birthday. And this was the night that I like invited myself over, so I already had been over once. But then the Jester, who I randomly met on like the first week of school, and I was like in the school Target with this random ass like friend who I like literally, he disappeared off the face of the earth. Um, I was with my random ass friend. My random ass friend was like, that guy's like really cute. Jester's really cute. I'm gonna go get his Instagram. And then we both got his Instagram, and then that was that. And then Jester slid up on my happy birthday thing and was like, happy birthday. What are you doing? And I was like, girl, I'm gonna see my trade tonight. And nope, yeah. And then I sent like a screenshot of a text conversation of me and my trade to of me and Devil to Jester. And mind you, the Devil isn't even trade. The Devil is like, he's ugly as shit. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. But I sent the screenshot to Jester, and Jester saw the name, and Jester was like, that better not be that person. And I was like, girl, what? And Jester was like, stay away from that Devil. That Devil is bad news. And I was like, girl, like, I'll find out for myself. And then Jester's friend, Kat, Jester's friend Kat, like one time bought like, I think the night of the Devil's birthday where I walked off like Carrie Bradshaw, Jester's friend Kat brought me alcohol. Oh my god, this is so bad. Like, brought me a beverage, and was like, you better watch out about that Devil. I'm telling you. And I'm like, Kat, Jester, it'll be fine. Like, I'll figure it out on my own. And then so that was all the preface to that. And he like told me that's not gonna work out. And then like a week later, the Devil texted me and was like, so good luck on your chemistry exam. And I was like, what do you want from me? Like, what do you want from me? Like, you literally a week ago was like, oh, this is gonna work out. Good luck on your chemistry exam. And I'm like, I literally was like, what do you want? And he was like, you know what I want. And I'm like, hello? And then, like, okay, fine. We'll finally, after like 2 weeks of not talking, we'll reconvene at the Halloween party, the final one, the one that was actually on Halloween. So it's the end of October, and me, my roommate Sapiter, and our friend Vivian, we go to this party, and we're super early, and we're just there, and like at some point the Devil and his friends were gonna come, and we're there, we're hanging there, and then the Devil and his friends finally come, and then it's like, hey, like, hey, and then we're all just like having like a good time. We're all just like being around, like walking around, because it was like a big like apartment place where the party was at. And then Jester and Kat walk in, and I'm like, oh my god, hey! And they're also upper class, and mind you, at this time I was a freshman, the Devil was a sophomore, and Jester and Kat were juniors. So Jester and Kat walk in, and I'm like, I'm like, hi. And then they come around, and all of a sudden Devil disappears, and I'm like, what the heck? And then yeah, at this point, it's probably like an hour into the party. Like, I've been talking to Devil, and then the party, like, is on this, like, ground floor of an apartment, but then it's, like, kind of outdoors because if you go up a flight of stairs, there's, like, apartments and, like a little outdoor patio on every single level. Like, it's, like, an indoor kind of outdoor thing. So we were on this base floor, and then Jester and Kat get there and take me and my friend Vivian up to the second floor to like look over at all the people. Like we're on top, on the ledge, like looking over at all these people. And at this point, I've like lost Devil, and no idea where they are because I'm with Jester and Kat. And then at this point, I'm kind of just like there, and I look over, and Jester is like making out with a girl, and I'm like, Jester, I thought you were gay. And then Jester's like, yeah, I am. I just like to like do it with my friends. And I was like, oh, okay. And then Jester was like, do you want to? And I was like, what? What'd you say? And he was like, oh, no, nothing. And I was like, yes. And girl, and then we do, and mind you, Jester was dressed up as a firefighter. And then we're like doing it, and I'm like dressed up as Grimes, and we're like kissing for a second, and then our friend Vivian is like, she starts screaming, and she's like, stop, because she knows that I came there for Devil. And then some random people on the base floor are like, oh my god, Roman and Jester are making out. And then all of a sudden I get separated and pushed off by Vivian, and I look down into the crowd, and of course Devil is looking straight up at me, and I'm like, ah, and I literally like ducked down. And Kat is there and is like, oh my god, oh my god. And then Devil starts coming up the stairs and walks up to me and is like, did you just make out with Jester? And I'm like, and then my friend, first he went up to Vivian and was like, did Roman just make out with Jester? And she was like, no. And then he came up to me and was like, did you just make out with Jester? And I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, I'm gonna have to like block you. Like, I can't believe you did this. Like, apparently like Jester and Devil like did not like each other for some reason. And then he like storms off, and I'm like, wait, and I'm like going after Devil, and then Jester is like, wait, let's like do it again to make him mad, and I'm like, oh my god. And then Kat's like separating us, and it's just like so much, and I'm like chasing after Devil, and then he's like, meet me at the back of the party. And then I go to the back, and I'm like, I'm sorry, are you mad? And at this point, my roommate Sapiter already left to go to a different party, and that me and Vivian were gonna go meet him at. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, but I have to go because I'm going to this other party. You can come. Let me know if you want to come. He's like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And I'm like, okay. So me and Vivian leave to this party. And as we're walking, I get a text from Devil asking for the address. And of course, I literally like send him like a screenshot of my location. I'm like, there it is. And he's like, address please. And then I send him the address, and then Devil comes with his friends, and it's just like hella awkward. And then it's like, he like pulls me onto the hallway of the apartment, and then we're like talking, and he's low-key like grilling the fuck out of me. And we're sitting down, and he's like, do you just want me to forgive you? And I was like, I'm not telling you to, you don't have to, but I'm saying sorry. And he was like, you don't do that with friends. And I was like, he's just my friend. He's like, you don't do that with friends. And I'm like, I feel like people like kind of do that though. And then he's like, what would you do if that was me, huh? Subtle foreshadowing. And he was like, what would you do if that was me? And I was like, not forgive you. And he's like, right. So why should I forgive you? And I was like, you don't have to forgive me. And he's like, okay. And then we just go back in, and then it's like chill. And then it's the end of the night, and he's like, we were all gonna walk to Kane's. And then we're walking, me, Devil, and Devil's best friend. And I thought we were all walking like Sapiter, Vivian, and more people. We're all going to Kant's, and we turn around and literally no one is there. So it's literally just like me, Devil, and Devil's best friend, and we drop the best friend off, and it's just us. And he's like, "You should go back to your place," and I'm like, "I don't want to walk over there." And then I somehow ended up back at his apartment, and he's like, "Yeah, but like we both shower separately," and then he's like hella standoffish, and he's like, "I don't think I can like ever kiss you again." And then he's like, "Well, let's just go to bed. Like, no cuddling. Like, none of that." And I'm like, "Okay." Like, so then we wake up, and then, bitch, he's like on his phone, like, not talking to me. But then he's like, "I'm hungry." And I'm like, "Okay, like, do you want to go somewhere?" So we go to IHOP, and it's like the most awkward thing ever. He's literally, I'm telling you guys, he's literally on his phone the entire time. And I'm just sitting there, like, and I literally told him, I was like, "Why'd you ask to come? Or why'd you say we should come if you were going to be on your phone the whole time?" And then he's like, he didn't even respond. And then I was like, "Were you like telling the truth and you said you can never kiss me?" And then he's also like not responding. Bitch, of course he starts talking when the food gets there, fatty. But then I'm like, "Okay." And then he's like, I heard I heard when you said that, and it's just gonna take some time." And I was like, "Okay, whatever. I'm so over this." And then I think the next weekend he texts me and is like, "What are you doing tonight?" And then I just like didn't respond. And yeah, I just like didn't respond. And then I like dropped off his like PJs that he lent me that night, and I like didn't talk to him. And by that time the semester was like um pretty much almost done. It was like I text him, but nothing like crazy. We like never met up, because I was like, he's so like annoying and like whatever. But then like winter break happened, and I like got so bored that when we came back to school for the first week of January for second semester, I was like, should I text him? And my roommate is like, "Girl, I don't think you should, but just do what you want." And at this point, I got invited to a Saltburn party, because this is when Saltburn was having its big thing. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna invite him to like the Saltburn party to like come with us." Um, and then we were gonna do the Saltburn party, and then we were gonna go to a rave after. And then he shows up to the Saltburn party, and I'm telling you, it was literally like seeing a ghost. I was like, "Hey," but mind you, y'all, he's there, but he brought Troye Sivan. Yeah, Troye Sivan from his birthday, the one that I was flirting with. And then he came up and was like, "What did Troye Sivan tell you?" So he brought Troye Sivan, and he was like, "Yeah, like, we're like friends, like this, like we're good friends, like." And at this point, I kind of knew that they had something funky going on, like before that. But I was so drunk, I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet. Like he's turned over a new leaf, and he's like, just like friends with him. Like this is like, yeah." And I was like talking to like both of them, and then this is where like this night I met like one of my favorite people ever. Like it was one of Sapiter's friends who he brought, and we'll call her organic chemistry, because she's also in my organic chemistry with me. So organic chemistry is off to the side with Sapiter. These names. And I'm talking to Devil and Troye Sivan. And just like blah blah blah, we're at the Saltburn party, blah blah blah, and then it's time to go to the rave. So I am like um, I'm telling Devil and Troye Sivan, "Let's all go to the rave now." And they're like, "Okay." They go, and then me, Sapiter, and organic chemistry all go as well. But the Uber like takes us to this random ass place, and we literally got lost, and we walked an hour before we even found the entrance to the rave. And at this point, the Devil was calling me and was like, "Where are you?" And we're like, "I don't really know where I am." But then we get there, and then it's like super tight. It's like in an underground tunnel, and me, organic chemistry, and Sapiter are all just there, and we're like finding our way to the front. And it's like it was so hot in there, and then we finally were like, "We're done." And then we walk out. As we're walking out, the devil and Troye Sivan are there, and I'm like, oh my god, we finally found you. And then the devil was like, oh yeah, like Troye Sivan wants to get to the front. And I'm like, oh, girl, I just did this. I just got to the front and I'm done. So I'm like, fine. So I grab his hand and I grab Sapiter's hand. And the devil's attached to Troye Sivan and Sapiter's attached to organic chemistry. And I'm pushing our way to the front. And as I'm pushing our way to the front, all of a sudden, the devil turns around and just starts kissing me. And he like grips on my rear end. And I'm like, oh. And it was a good fix. And then that randomly happened. And then we just keep on pushing to the front. And then it's like, doom, 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 doom. And we're like doing the rave shit. And then all of a sudden, it's like, if you're not constantly pushing to be to the front, you're going to get like pushed to the back just like by like people like pushing. So all of a sudden, like I get separated. It's like me, Sapiter, and organic chemistry like right here. And then Devil and Troye Sivan are slightly in front of us, but we're separated. And then I'm like on a high because I'm like, girl, like period. And then like all of a sudden, like Troye Sivan is like standing like facing that way, and Devil is standing like right behind him, like really close. And I'm like, okay, it's a bit sus, but you know what? It's like really tight in here, so like they're just like dancing. And then all of a sudden, I see Troye Sivan turn around, and Troye Sivan and Devil start making out, and I'm like, something that very second, something in my brain chemistry changed. And I know, like, y'all might be like, girl, like nothing was official, like, but that's dirty. That is dirty. And I know like he probably like got his lick back on me for what I did at the Halloween party, but like, why would you do that to me though? It's just a bit weird. But yeah. And then girl, I whip out, I'm like, we're leaving. And I tell that to like organic chemistry and Sapiter, and I'm like having another Carrie Bradshaw moment, and I'm like, like all sad, walking out, everything, nothing always haunts me. Yeah. And then I go to iMessage and I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving right now. You have a really good time with Troye Sivan, cause yeah, I like you just like, I know like it's clear that y'all have something more than friends, and y'all have a good time. And he's like, why? Like, what do you mean? Like, me and Troye Sivan, like, this is just our first time like going out as like good friends since like getting back on the right foot. And I'm like, I literally saw you kiss. Like, I'm leaving. And then he just like, and I said, good night, period. And then he sent like a colon slash, like, and then I block his ass, and I block him on literally everything. Or the next day I'm like, then we're walking and it's so bad, and then it's like I go to work the next morning and I'm like melted because I was up until the butt crack of dawn, and then I just like wanted to die. And then the next day I'm like back at the chemistry building studying until like 1 a.m. And then I'm listening to, oh my god, what's the song off Blue Banisters by Lana? Cause if you're on fire, just keep burning. So I'm walking back to my dorm after studying until 1 a.m. and it's pitch black, there's not a soul on the street. And I have that playing, and I hit block on the phone number, hit block on Instagram, and I'm like walking and I feel like so like liberated, and I'm like it's okay, like we're gonna make it through this. And it's like playing like that song Thunder by Lana Del Rey. And then yeah, and then kicking off that week, my evil eye bracelet broke, I lost my AirPods, and then that's also when I started calculus. And that also marks a point in my life when the quality of life just took a severe like downward dive into like a pit of rocks. Just terrible. So, and then I was pretty over everything and everyone for a very long period of time, and I uninstalled I like deactivated Instagram. I was done. But I actually have like a lot of other stories regarding first semester freshman year when I was going out a lot. That was a good time. But yeah, so that was my work history and the devil, the jester, Troye Sivan, and Cat, all just one good, fun little story. But yeah, we've been going for an hour and 5 minutes, but thank you so much for listening to The Fool. I don't know if y'all realize I told it the flop the first time. I don't know if I already said that, but thank you so much for listening to The Fool. I had a really fun time this episode, and I will catch y'all on the next one.